ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். நம்ம எல்லோரும் சந்தோஷ சித்தத்தோட குழந்தை நிலையில் தெய்வீக அன்னையோட அன்பை பெற தியானத்துக்கு உட்கார்வோம். மிகவும் பணிவோட ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜிக்கு நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணி மெதுவாக குண்டலினி உயர்த்தி பந்தன் போட்டுக்கொள்வோம். ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. வலது கை ஹிருதயத்தில் வைத்து ஹிருதயபூர்வமாக ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியை அழைக்கலாம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தயவு செய்து தங்களுடைய அன்பும் கருணையால் எங்களுடைய ஹிருதயத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள். எங்களுடைய ஹிருதயத்துக்குள் வாருங்கள் தாயே. எங்களுடைய ஹிருதயத்தை தாங்களுடைய இருப்பிடமா ஆக்கிவிடுங்கள். அதற்கு தகுதியும் தாங்கள்தான் தந்தருள வேண்டும் தாயே. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, கருணாமயி ஹிருதய நிவாசினியாக எங்களுடைய ஹிருதயத்தில் அமர்ந்து இன்றைய தியானத்துக்கு அனுமதியை தந்து வழிநடத்துங்கள். இன்றைய தியானத்தில் எங்களுக்கு சிந்தனையற்ற நிலையை தந்தருளுங்கள் தாயே. வலது கை மடக்கி கொண்டு வருவோம். கண்கள் மெதுவாக மூடி கவனம் நம்பலுக்குள். இரண்டு உள்ளங்கையும் சகஸ்ராரத்தில் கவனத்தை வைப்போம். நம்மளுடைய கவனம் மெதுவாக சகஸ்ராரத்தில் நிலையாக இருக்கிறதா? சைத்தன்யம் உணர்வுமான் கவனிப்போம். எந்த விதமான சிந்தனை வந்தாலும் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட திருக்கமல பாதத்தில் விட்டு விடுவோம். வலது உள்ளங்கை சகஸ்ராரத்துக்கு கொஞ்சம் மேல வைத்து பார்க்கலாம். முழு கவனம் சஹஸ்ராரமும் நம்முடைய வலது உள்ளங்கை இதற்கு நடுவில் நம்மளுக்கு என்ன உணர்வு வருதுன்னு அது மீது வைப்போம். மெதுவாக வலது கை மடக்கி கொண்டு வரலாம். கவனம் சஹஸ்ராரத்தில் வைத்து 3 மகாமந்திரத்தை கூறுவோம். ஓம் त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रारस्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. गणेश मंत्रम. ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. மெதுவாக 2 உள்ளங்கையும் பூமி தாய் மீது வைப்போம். மனதார பிரார்த்திக்கலாம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய ஸ்தூல சரீரமும் சூக்ஷ்ம சரீரத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள் தாயே. முழுமையாக தூய்மையடைய ஸ்ரீ கணேஷ் அத்தர்வ சீர்ஷை கூறுவோம். ॐ नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं हृदं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं मामवक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चातात अवपुरस्तात अव उत्तरातात अवदक्षिणातात अवचोद्ध्वातात अवाधरातात सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तसिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो नीलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मास्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वम् इन्द्रस्त्वम् अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरों गणादीं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादीं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वार परतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकार पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वार शान्त्यरूपं बिन्दुरुत्तररूपं नादसन्धानं संहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निश्रुतगायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमं कुशधारिणं हृदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैर्सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्टयाधौ प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः नमो रात्रपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः மெதுவாக இடது கை மடிக்கி கொண்டு வருவோம் கவனமிடா நாடி இரண்டு உள்ளங்கையும் சஹஸ்ராரத்தில் கவனத்தை வைக்கலாம் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தயவு செய்து தங்களுடைய மகாகாளி ஸ்ரீ பைரவநாத்தோட சக்தியால் எங்களுடைய இடா நாடியை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள். श्री महाकाली साक्षात, श्री भैरवनाथ साक्षात. ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महाकाली साक्षात् श्री भैरवनाथ साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः. கவனமீடா நாடி 2 உள்ளங்கையும் சகஸ்ராரத்தில் வைத்து அமைதியாக காத்திருப்போம். தூய்மை அடைவோம். மெதுவாக வலது கை மடக்கி கொண்டு வருவோம். இடது கை பூமி தாய் மீது வைப்போம். கவனம் வலது மூலாதார சக்கரம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய வலது மூலாதார சக்கரத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள். ஸ்ரீ கார்த்திகேயாவோட எல்லா குணங்களும் சக்திகளையும் எங்களுக்கு தந்தருளுங்கள். அமைதியாக தூய்மையடைய காத்திருப்போம். பிங்களா நாடியை தூய்மைப்படுத்துவோம். இடது கை ஆகாயத்தை நோக்கி வைத்துக் கொள்வோம். வலது கை மடி மீதே இருக்கட்டும். கவனம் பிங்களா நாடி. 2 உள்ளங்கை சகசிராரம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தயவு செய்து தங்களுடைய மகா சரஸ்வதி ஸ்ரீ ஹனுமானோட சக்தியால் எங்களுடைய பிங்களா நாடியை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள். அமைதியாக அமர்ந்து தூய்மை அடைவோம். அமைதியாக உட்காரும்போது நம்மளுக்குள் மாற்றத்தை மட்டும் கவனிப்போம். நுண்ணுதல்கள் நிலையில் மாற்றத்தை கவனிப்போம். श्री महासरस्वती साक्षात श्री हनुमान साक्षात। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीमहासरस्वती साक्षात् श्री हनुमान साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। மெதுவாக நம்முடைய இடது கை மடிக்கி கொண்டு வரலாம். கவனம் சுஷும்னா நாடி. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தயவு செய்து தாங்களுடைய ஸ்ரீ மகாலட்சுமி ஸ்ரீ கணேஷாவோட சக்தியால் எங்களுடைய சுஷும்னா நாடியை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள் தாயே. श्री महालक्ष्मी साक्षात श्री गणेशा साक्षात। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी साक्षात् श्री गणेशा साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। கவனம் இரண்டு உள்ளங்கையும் சஹஸ்ராரத்தில் வைத்து தெய்வீக அன்னையோட அன்பு சக்தியை உணருமான் கவனிப்போம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய கவனத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்துங்கள். நிகழ்காலத்தில் தியான நிலையில் நிலைநிறுத்துங்கள் தாயே. மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் மூலாதார சக்கரம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தயவு செய்து தாங்களுடைய ஸ்ரீ கணேச சக்தி எங்களுடைய மூலாதார சக்கரத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்த அருள் புரியுங்கள் தாயே. மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் மூலாதாரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம். ஸ்ரீ ஆதிசக்தி ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட பிரதிபிம்பம் நம்மளுக்குள் ஸ்ரீ குண்டலினி மாதாவை மனமாற வணங்கி ஸ்ரீ குண்டலினி கௌரி மாதா மந்திரத்தை கூறுவோம். ஓம் त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकुण्डलिनी गौरीमाता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्रीनिर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. மெதுவாக ஒவ்வொரு சக்கரங்களையும் கடந்து நம்முடைய தூய கவனத்தை சஹஸ்ராரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே எங்களுடைய மாதா பிதா குரு தெய்வம். தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ இச்சாசக்தி காரியசக்தி ஞானசக்தி சுவாமினி. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் திரிகுணாத்மிகா. ஜெகத் ஜனனி அகிலாண்டேஸ்வரி சர்வஞான பிரதாயினி சர்வமங்கலகாரிணி ஆதிசக்தி. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, எங்களுடைய சஹஸ்ராரத்துக்குள் வாருங்கள். எங்களுடைய முழு சமர்ப்பண பாவத்தை ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளுங்கள். சர்வ மங்களமும் சகல சௌபாகியமும் தந்தருளுங்கள் தாயே. சிந்தனையற்ற நிலையை தந்தருளுங்கள். ஸ்ரீ சஹஸ்ரார சுவாமினி சாக்ஷாத் மந்திரத்தை கூறி சில நிமிடம் தியானத்தில் இருப்போம். ஓம் त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. கண்களை திறந்து ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட சொற்பொழிவை கேட்டு உள்வாங்கிப்போம்.
Because of distances and also we had no ashram in Melbourne all these days, I found that the collectivity is not yet properly woven here, and so I think best thing is today we must worship the Virat. Virat is the primordial father, you can say, or the one who is in our brain, acts for our collectivity. As the Kundalini rises, ultimately she ends up by piercing through the fontanelle bone area. Before entering into that, she enters into the Sahasrara. Sahasrara is the area which is surrounded by 1000 nerves. And in the medical terms, it is called as limbic area. Now 1000 nerves are all connected to the 16 important nerves of the Vishuddhi. That's why they say that Sri Krishna had 16,000 wives. That is, he had all his powers as his wives, and I have all my powers as my children. So when we are growing in our ascent, in our dhyana, we have to go do our Sahasrara. If the Sahasrara was not opened out, we could not have done this mass realization. How it is connected. The collectivity is so connected with the present day Sahaja. Before that, it was just up to the Agya Chakra. But when it reaches the Sahasrara, it enlightens all the nerves, and all the nerves look like flames which are very silent, beautifully colored in all Vibjaya colors. And the appearance of these is so soothing, so beautiful, that there's no better view in the whole world, I think, that human beings can see. So when this Sahasrara was opened out, which we are having now a puja, as you know, in Rome, before that, it had to go to the collective. That is, I had to pay my attention to the collective. I had to see the people, their different problems, the permutations and combinations by which they are all suffering. They can all be brought to the 7 major notes, we can say, but they are also divided into 21. One on the left, one on the right, and one in the center. So we have also gathered 21 really basic problems, fundamental problems within us, which we have to solve. We have, in the beginning of Sahaja, have tried only to cure people, their physical problems, mental problems, their family problems, financial problems, all kinds of problems have been solved in Sahaja. And we have had some very great mishaps in between. As you know, that when they came up to the Agya, they started taking over the whole atmosphere by some sort of a authority which was not God's authority. As a result, many people went out at the Agya. But those who have come to Sahasrara have to understand that collectivity is the basic of your ascent. If you are not collective, if you do not come to the center, if you do not meet each other, then you are like a nail which is cut out of the finger, and the divine has nothing to do with you. You are out of the tree, like the flowers which have come out of the tree can exist for a while, no doubt, but after some time they are dead and finished. So it is important for all of you to understand that collectivity, if it is not established in Sahaja, Sahaja will die out. I am now going to America where collectivity has to be really of the maximum nature, but it is not so. There are so many problems on collectivity in America. But still I would say that they realize one thing, that they have to be very collective. The problems are like there are very few people who are Sahajogis there. But among themselves, they understand responsibility. They are all working very hard. They are spreading Sahaja. Now you see they have the school breeze started from there. There are so many activities they are doing in America with such a small number that it is amazing how they are managing these things. And they do it very beautifully because they feel joined together. They are so far away from Honolulu to New York. It's such a long distance. But it's such a lot of understanding, such a lot of love and sense of responsibility. Because they are a small number, they feel extremely responsible that we have to be absolutely collective. No question of having groups. Even if somebody makes mistakes or something, they never talk about it to anybody else but to me. They never discuss about each other. They never talk ill about each other. They never form any groups. The children outside, just they can come here, the space. Can you move a little bit halfway in the there? Just make them space in between. Come now. आपण पुढे यावं. पुढे या. आणखीन बाबा वाटतं तुला पुढे वाटतात. आणखी इकडे येऊ द्या. इकडे. ए हरी इथे घ्या ना. आता पूजाच पुढे या. हो बरंच पुढे बाबा तू जरा पुढे होऊन घ्या. Children can sit in front, they don't occupy much space. Children can even sit on your laps. बाहेर किती लोक आहेत? Can you move, you can make a gap in between the, yeah. Now this is question of collectivity. Bring the children up here. All the children can come now. They can help me in puja. They are very good at helping. Yes. हे नंतर लावता येते काही जरुरी नाही. Yes, yes. Come now. Poor children were kept out. Can you imagine? Yeah. Sit down, sit down, sit down. कुठे मागचं सांभाळा ते केळीची जड वाजवून टाका. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Here, sit down. Now. Come along, come along. Come here, come here.
Come on, come here.
आपोआप जागा होती. तुझाही मोठं असलं पाहिजे. Now who are outside now? See which small children are they?
Just the very small.
Huh?
Just the baby.
Come along, come along. I think if you could just sit little, not with such a big asana, a little smaller asana, people can come. Put up one. And I think open one window also is important. खिड़की उड़ा. Yes, there is some space. If there are 3 cameras, then how can there be space? I think we could have a camera in there and they can sit inside. Right? All right. You all should sit with one knee up like that, so there's more space. Just like Mama is sitting. एक वरती पण बसा गुडघा थोडा, मग गचागच सगळं बरोबर होतं. Give it in Chaya's lap. तिला वेड आहे मुलाच. Don't spread out yourself. Little bit, pull your one leg like that on top. Yes, one straight, one like this. Even easier to sit that way. Easier to sit. Now this is the sense of collectivity. That it's a small hall, doesn't matter, we are all together. And how are we going to get all of them inside? Because you can't enjoy it unless until all of you are together. Now, everybody has to keep quiet, alright children? All of you, huh? Otherwise they'll again ask you to go out. So now, let us see how do we miss out on collectivity. It's a very practical, down-to-earth understanding. First, we must know without collectivity we cannot exist. As the body has to be in connection with the brain, in the same way, without collectivity, Sahaja Yoga cannot exist. Once you understand that, then you have to work it out that collectivity is absolutely established within and without. It is more within that we have to establish than without. Whatever you have within is manifested outside. Now, how do we establish it within ourselves? First of all, we have to understand that now we are the relations of each other. Ganeshwara has said, Techi soyari kahoti. Who is that crying? Alright, Tiradot. I chat when I Alright. So the first thing is that within ourselves, we have to see with introspection, what are we doing against collectivity in our mind? How our mind is working. I do not know what thing comes first in the human mind about another person. But the first thing is that these are your real relations. And nobody else are your relations. These children are your children, and these men are your brothers, and these ladies are your sisters, and we are one big family together. We are part and parcel of one body. As this hand cannot hit another hand, thank God it doesn't think. Otherwise, as human beings, they might start thinking against another hand. But they don't, because they are connected to one brain activity. So the first thing one has to understand, that do not try to see the defects of another person, but goodness of another person. That is really going to help you the most. Like in India, I see, I don't know, here may be the same. If they know you, supposing, immediately they'll find out, now what work can we take out of this person? If somebody is a minister's brother, immediately they'll approach the minister's brother. All right, will you do this work for me? Then somebody says, I am such and such. Immediately people will think, oh, so what work can we get out of this person? In the same way, you can go a little further in the language of Sahaja. As soon as you come to know about someone, you should not think what business I can do with him. I have seen immediately if somebody has money, people will jump at him, all right, let's have the business together. Even in Sahaja. Or if there's anything like that, immediately they start employing that person for your purpose. On the contrary, what you have to do, as soon as you know about somebody, then you have to think what goodness he has got. How can I imbibe that goodness within myself? Because we are here to enrich ourselves spiritually. So you must think as first and foremost thing, what can I do to get the goodness of that person within myself? So you'll be looking out for the goodness of that person than instead of looking out for bad qualities. Because bad qualities are not going to nourish you at all. Also, if somebody has bad qualities, no use thinking about you yourself, because if you start thinking about it, they are not going to be improved. It is somebody else's problem. So best thing is to look at another person with adoration and understanding, with love, that he is one of us and what can I use. Now if I have the hand, I don't have to think because we are programmed that way. If I have to hold this, automatically I use my hand, not my feet. I know my hands are going to do. But when I have to walk, I don't walk with my hands, because I know my feet have to walk. In the same way, you have to know which Sahajogi is going to help you to nourish yourself. Immediately your mind will become very clear. Like now, I saw some boy in New Zealand who was really about to be dead. And when he came back, I found the attitude towards him was not kind, as it should have been. But this is the best chance where you should see how you can practice your compassion. We talk of compassion, compassion. Now let us see how we can practice our compassion when this boy is so sick. On the contrary, everybody was harsh on him, were passing remarks at him, doing things like that. Because we have to have compassion. Now mother has said we have to have compassion. Now where do you have our compassion? On the walls, where do we use our compassion? Where do we use our compassion? So Sahaj Yoga is to be practiced doesn't mean that to sit down with my photograph all the time. It doesn't mean that. It means you practice compassion. You practice that. Then you have to practice love. Now how do you practice love with others? If you love someone, what do? You try to please that person. Small things can make people very happy. I know you all try to please me very much. You'll give me presents, you'll find out things which are good for me, you'll go out of the way, buy sweet flowers for me. Beautiful things you do to please me. I am over pleased, I must tell you. But I am more pleased, much more pleased, if you understand collectivity and try to please each other. Such a person pleases me the most, that the attention is more on pleasing each other. As soon as you decide you have to please others, your tongue will become different. It will become a sweet tongue. The tongue which was like a pair of scissors becomes such a beautiful thing of honey. Then you talk little, but you really pour honey on another person, and another person really enjoys it. So now the practice love, where do you practice? Ask your question. Where do I practice love? What do I love? We love our house, we love our photographs, our decorations, everything. But do I practice this love on my wife or on my husband or on other surgeries? In our Sahaj culture, we have to practice compassion and love. And thirdly, we have to practice patience. I know some children are maybe little more mischievous, some are less mischievous. Maybe some people are very talkative. Sometimes really they gave me also a headache. They go on talking so much. Sometimes I think it's good because it's a rest for my mouth. One way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is just switch off your mind, let him talk, take it out, whatever he wants to talk. Once he is finished with it and fagged out, then he won't bother you much. And also he'll feel satisfied that somebody has listened to his practice. So patience is needed. And patience is needed in such a way that others should see your patience. Yesterday, for example, I was sitting for about, 3 hours shaking hands with all sorts of people and all types of problems. And the person who came last, he said, looking at your patience, I developed my own patience. And love gives you patience. This love nourishes you. I'm telling you, it's absolutely down to earth method. Here I have not mentioned that you trust God I'm just saying trust yourself. Absolutely down to earth, because we are talking about your brain. Now we have been saying that we have to forgive everyone. But we don't practice that. Small, small things like mad people we remember. When only I had heard that snake has this capacity to remember if somebody has hurt him. But here I find human beings have no less capacity. Whatever has happened 13 years back, 15 years back, they all remember each and everything. Whatever has hurt them. But how they have hurt others, they don't remember. How they have been nasty to others, don't remember. Because this is a human mind which has got the ego. It can go on hurting others, it doesn't feel anything. And the superego which goes on receiving all the hurts and always complaining about it. So it is for you to realize that you are the one who is breaking the collectivity. First of all, we had horrible leaders here. That's how our collectivity was very poor. But now we are getting soberer people, better people. Also for Melbourne, I'm thinking of getting somebody elderly for you to be the leader, because I think Greg is full with responsibility. So I thought of Enzo and I asked him and he has agreed. So now in Melbourne, we'll have somebody staying in the ashram who is a retired man, who will look after you, he'll do everything that is possible to look after the collectivity of Melbourne. But you have to know that I have one connection with you through your leader. That doesn't mean you cannot connect. Like supposing there's a pin and you put the pin to me, immediately my hand will go off. Means there's a reflex action also. But mostly everything is reported to the brain. In the same way, everything should be reported to the brain. But from the very beginning, if you develop a kind of a criticizing attitude towards your leader, then it becomes very difficult for the leader as well as for you. First, you should not criticize. Don't use your brain for criticism. Already criticism has been too much in the West. I mean, they have got now technique of criticizing. All the art is finished because of the critics. The artists are afraid to show their paintings. Artists are afraid to show their creations because they will be criticized. Now the only thing that is left are critics, critics, critics. And the critics are criticizing critics. That's all. There's no creativity, nothing. So try to appreciate everything. Children are producing pictures, paintings anyway. They make sometimes my face is very funny when they draw. Not the children, even grown-ups. Doesn't matter. I appreciate it. It's very good, wonderful, very nice. To encourage that person. So criticism should go out of our mind, but appreciation should be practiced. Appreciation of others' children, appreciation of other people is very important. But that doesn't mean that you appreciate all others and torture your wife or torture your husband. That also is an imbalance. First responsibility is your family, but you should appreciate others. And this comes when you have no jealousies about anyone. This jealousy, I don't know from where it comes. I don't know this quality of jealousy, why there is jealousy. So also, if you have jealousy, you have to use it for the right purpose. And what is the right purpose? Is that you should be jealous of a person who is spiritually higher than you. And you practice it that you become better. If jealousy is for competition, then you compete with a person who is more compassionate, more loving, more sacrificing, more patient. So this competition becomes a very healthy competition and the collectivity becomes very nourished.
ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. கண்கள் மூடி சில நிமிடம் தியானத்தில் இருப்போம். ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. கண்களை திறந்து இன்றைய தியானத்துக்கு ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜிக்கு நன்றியை கூறி நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணி குண்டலினியை உயர்த்தி மந்திரம் போட்டுக்கொள்வோம். ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி.
जय श्री माता जी.
ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி.
जय श्री माता जी.
ஜெய்
जय
ஸ்ரீ
श्री
மாதா-
माता जी.
ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி.
नंत्री माता जी.
நன்றி.
जय श्री माता जी.
ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி.
जय श्री माता जी.
ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதா